Hey everyone, Mark Palermo here. I just got back from seeing Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I'm going to try to keep this pretty brief, in part because I don't have a full review ready. This is just some thoughts on the film and the context surrounding it. And also, this is due in part to me being pretty tired. I don't know if that's because the movie kind of wore me out or because it's midnight and I just haven't slept too well. The title alone, Batman versus Superman, people look at that and say, well, why are Batman and Superman fighting? Aren't they both supposed to be saviors of humanity, fighters of evil, doers of good? Well, the title is an indication that this is a movie about a world gone mad. And it's gone mad in part because people are desperate for heroes and people don't know what to believe in. This is Zack Snyder's sequel to Man of Steel, his Superman film. And part of the audience disappointment in Man of Steel, amongst long-term Superman fans anyway, was that Superman, spoilers, kills Zod in that film. And because Superman is supposed to be a being of goodness, this kind of ideal of purity, how can Superman kill somebody? So this movie is both a sequel to Man of Steel and also, in a sense, a reaction to the audience's response to it. Here, the people of Metropolis have lost faith in Superman because Superman acted in a way that was against their image of him. And it seems to me that this is an extrapolation of a very angry world at this time, and a world that needs heroes to the point that it deifies celebrities, where celebrity gossip is not separated from regular news, where you have sites talking about social justice issues that are also talking about who is problematic. And this has led to a very black and white thinking. Either you're a savior or you are a garbage person. And this movie is kind of about the public response to that. And it's also about Superman and Batman dealing with their roles to the public good, where superheroes are gods and where celebrities are also gods, and what responsibility they have to that public, as well as also what responsibility they have to their parents, to their family legacies. This is a movie that's much more interesting in terms of what it represents thematically than in terms of its story structure, which is kind of all over the place and pretty hard to track at places. I don't feel that this is a movie that's really going to be well liked by the crowd that likes movies like Deadpool, by the crowd that likes movies like The Avengers. It's a tough film to swallow, and it seems to me that it's also a movie that's humorless, and on top of that, a movie that's also kind of joyless. But there's also something surprisingly adult about it in the way that I mentioned. I'm not quite sure how successful it is as an action picture, because I do feel that the movie gets bogged down in kind of philosophical speeches, almost as though this is like the superhero equivalent of a Richard Linklater film at times. Plus it's hashtag grimdark in a way that can be taken as kind of hard to stomach, although I feel that Zack Snyder is really good at these pop visuals and big cinematic action. If you're going to go see the movie, you should see it in IMAX. It's one of the best looking comic book films there's been. But the way Snyder is dealing with his audience here strikes me as similar to what he was doing in Sucker Punch, which is, in my opinion, not an entirely successful movie. But in that case, it's inviting the audience to come and partake in this titillation, and then the audience responds by acting disgusted about the titillation that they've just witnessed. So it's kind of this self-fulfilling doom. And Sucker Punch predicts that within its own thesis, which is a sneaky thing. And Batman v Superman is dealing with similar issues in terms of what the audience wants. There's a lot of religious imagery in this movie. The best sequence in the film, I feel, is actually dealing with this idea of Superman as a martyr, as someone who's separate from the rest of the population, and we get news clips, people like Neil deGrasse Tyson as themselves talking about what he represents to the cosmos, to humanity. So the film is a very topical clash of the titans, with the superheroes as the titans. Wonder Woman is in this film, also played by Gal Gadot, who's in the last 4 Fast and the Furious movies. She doesn't have a lot to do, but she looks totally badass in her close-ups. I'm kind of excited for a Wonder Woman movie starring her, and it'd be cool if they got Zack Snyder directed, because he's so good at these superhero images right now. It would be good if he had a slightly tighter script next time. So these are my rough thoughts on Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Most critics aren't liking it too much, and I don't think audiences are really going to like it much more. And I don't think that response is really telling the whole story of what this movie is. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I will talk to you soon.